All right, guys, we're back out with the Browning X-Bolt Fast Twist. And what we've got here is my pet 140 grain load. And let's talk about what we're up to here today. So I thought it would be cool to take this load that ran so good in at least 2 rifles. I think it was more, but this is the load that I landed on for that Winchester Model 70, and these were all 1 in 10 twist. Winchester Model 70 and the Tikka T3X Super Light was this 140 grain Hornady boat tail soft point interlock with H4350. And I was happy with it in those 22-inch barrels. I was just getting just over 2,900, like 2,910. That ballistically achieved what I wanted, okay? That set me up for the type of zero range I like, the type of ability to have holdover on an elk, and it gave me the proper energy to my maximum range, which is really less than 400, but it gave me the proper energy to 400. So I love that load. I'm just curious to see if it will be lights out. It was half MOA in those other 2 rifles, and that's why I landed on it, and I didn't try to get more velocity. I was like, yeah, this is good. So I've got those left over from years ago, and we'll try them in this Browning. And I thought that'd be another good way to do some break-in and just get more familiar with the gun. So that's what we're up to here. We'll check velocities. We'll see if this 24-inch barrel gives us much more than those 22s. And I'll just report back on that. I'm digging that sky behind me. That's pretty cool, huh? All right, guys, that's a 6-shot average of these old school 140 grain Hornadies from the original Project 270. We're just 6 feet short of 2,900 for the average. The last one was 2,909. So that's interesting to note, that those are the type velocities I was getting with the 22-inch barrel in the past, and this 24 isn't really changing that. I find that interesting. I really do. I'm starting to wonder if this is a slow rifle. And that's too bad if it is, but we'll figure that out. I can see the groups down there. I shot 2 3-shot groups, and the first one was cold bore, clean bore. It opened up. Was nothing notable. This second one, and we'll look at it when we go down there, looked to me to be right about an inch. Not great, but not terrible. But I thought that was a really good test, just to see if that pet load from the past still carried water in this rifle. Don't know yet. I'm not done playing with that, but it's really not what I bought this rifle for, right? We want to get those heavies going. So I think we'll work on that next. And now we've got a foul bore. Yeah, let's do it. Here's a look, guys, at some of these 170 grainers ready to roll. There's the 3-shot average of the N560 starting load that I used. 2775 and change. It's a big deal because we were stuck at 2640 with the Mag Pro. So this is a huge improvement. Now, as far as pressure on those 3 shots, no sticky extraction. Starting to see a little bit of primer flattening. Not alarming, but we're not that far below max, I can tell. I have some more with me that are bumped up a hair. We're gonna run them, and we're gonna see if it'll take them, and what that extra bump, if that will push us that 25 feet per second to get to 2880. Now, the group down there, I can see it through this 14 power scope. Honestly, guys, I'm not real focused on that right now. I'm sending these hot loads. I'm more focused on pressure. It's like an 1.5 inch group, but I'm not shooting my best. So I'm not worried about that, okay? Right now, I'm not focused on that. Can we get these velocities? And we'll get the accuracy. I saw this rifle was capable of a 3/4 MOA last time. It's capable. It'll just be a matter of me focusing, and I think I'll lighten that trigger pull a little bit. It's probably 4 pounds, maybe more. It's pretty heavy. Okay, so we're just letting it cool, and we'll run another batch of N560 jacked up a little bit. 3-shot average with that jacked up N560. Well, that is promising. Now, we also didn't have, in fact, those didn't show any more pressure than the lower load. I might start bumping that 1/10 at a time, 2/10. I feel like we're close. A little primer flattening, no cratering, no sticky ejection. So yeah, it's looking promising with N560, 24-inch barrel. You know, guys, here's already, and this was probably obvious before we started, and some of you have even commented this. If your goal is just simply to maximize the heavy bullets in the 270, and you don't necessarily, you're okay packing a 26-inch rifle, then that's what you should get. The 26-inch is going to push, I'm sure 2,900. The fact that I think we're going to be able to get 2850, 2830 to 50 here, it looks like, with a 24-inch is great. And, but boy, why N560 is the bomb. And when I bought that pound the other day, there are only 3 pounds in town that I could see. I'm going to see if I can't go. Hopefully nobody bought the other 2. It's not prevalent where I live. And maybe that's just here. Hopefully it's not one of those, like Rotumbo or something where you get a pound of it every 3 or 4 years. But this is encouraging. Accuracy, I don't really know. I'm not, like I said, guys, I'm not worried about that right now. I'm not shooting my best. I'm more jacked up on, can we get the velocity? And then we'll fine tune this thing for accuracy. But let's check out this last group and see if we're even knocking on the door. So let me break down these groups here. Okay, that was the first group of 140s. Nothing to write home about. The second group of 140s, I think that's 1 inch. This was the first group of 170s with the lesser charge. And this was the group of 170s with the higher charge where we were breaking 2,800. So nothing's awful, and there's a lot to work with there. Next steps, guys. Try to find more N560. It's weird, right? I have a pound of it, but there's always this fear in me that it's the last pound I'll ever find, and I think I'm a victim of the marketing scheme and the way our economy's been for several years, where seems like there's always a shortage of what you want and there's plenty of what you don't. And it looks like I need to order more 170 grain bullets. I just ordered 1 box of those ballistic tips because if we were going to be stuck in the 26 or 2700s, this project was going to wrap up pretty quick. But now that we know what we know, we've got some work to do, which is great, which is fun. And I'm going to now fiddle with this trigger on the Browning and get that down a pound or so. Pretty sure I read where it's adjustable by the user. I'm impressed with the rifle. Feeding, extraction, the way the magazine works is all first class. Very nice. Now, what I'll do to wrap up this video, guys, is I'll take this velocity we got here and I'll run a little ballistic chart on that. Hey guys, here's this ballistic chart, and comparing this to our last trip with the 170s where we only got 2640, there's a huge change here by getting almost 200 feet per second more, 190. We have improved our trajectory at 400 by 5 inches. We've improved our energy at 400 by 250 foot-pounds. We're now almost 1,800. And at 500, we've improved our trajectory over 8 inches and our energy by 210 foot-pounds. So this just became a 500-yard elk energy cartridge. So there's a lot going on here. So really positive today, and hopefully you're enjoying it. You know, I learned a lesson, guys, I want to share to wrap up this video. I learned a big lesson here with all this Hunt Simple stuff since 2017. And, you know, I have a lot of regret. I honestly didn't know that some of the content that we were putting out there for years meant a lot. People got benefit from it. They enjoyed the information. It helped them. You know, I've had so many of you guys comment that you built loads based off my content, or you purchased a certain cartridge, you know, rifle chambered in a certain cartridge, or a certain rifle based off my content. I didn't know that, guy. I didn't get that. And I regret that I deleted all that. And, you know, selfish. I don't know what it was. I was just done with YouTube and didn't see a purpose in it. And it is a godless it's owned by godless people. Okay. That's what's hard for me. But if the data can help people, and I'm learning so much also. So just wanted to share that, and thanks to you guys that are here with me still. And hopefully we can continue to learn and grow together.